Hey guys, two things I want to tell you about today that I'm pretty excited about. The first one coming up is that later on this spring, at the end of April, I'm going to be teaching in the Immersion week at Brookline Tai Chi. Now this is something we do every year for ideally longer than a normal weekend workshop and more of an intensive than our regular weekly classes. And so this year, I'm going to take some of the moving exercises from energy gates, since we've been doing a lot of standing work in the regular Qigong classes, and obviously on the site I've been writing about standing a lot lately. We want to focus on the swings and the spine stretch. And those two sets of exercises, we're going to kind of treat them separately as a morning session and an afternoon session. Those two sets are so interesting to me because when you stand, you build all this internal awareness. But then there are two processes that go on when you stand. One is kind of a top-down thing. So you're working on aligning yourself with gravity, sinking the mind through the body, and trying to release whatever's stuck inside you into the earth. Well, the swings really challenge that connection to the ground, because as you're swinging and moving, the whole idea is to bring the movements up from the ground, really have a pure connection to the floor, but then do the movements at a speed that's much faster than most moving Qigong sets. And the stepping patterns and the way you turn in these series of 3 exercises progressively get the arms up higher and higher and higher. So they test your connections through the whole body. And we joke that you can tell the quality of somebody's swing and the degree of their internal connections and coordination based on what you see their arms doing. So in the swings, the arms are designed to just be free. So it sort of gives you a read on how everything moves through the whole system. So I love that exercise. In the spine stretch, if you do the spine stretch wrong, it's a really bad, boring stretch. But if you do it right, and that's obviously what I'm going to try to show people how to do, it's an amazing way to release layers and layers and layers inside your body. So first we're talking about up and down. When it comes to the spine stretch, what you're going to do is try to feel deep into the middle of the spine. So you have to go through all these layers of tissue, and you're dealing with how the arms and legs are connected to the spine. So it's a really powerful way to release the nervous system and to release all the layers from the outside in that stand in the way of really letting go. So I love that one. It's going to be a big challenge to spend the amount of time we are on it. There are a lot of sort of preparatory things we do, and it can be so intense that you really have to be sensitive to what you're doing when you do that kind of work. So that's a live teaching event that I'll be doing in April, and I'll put a link to the actual details in this post. The other big thing I'm super excited about is that we've finally been able to get this book published, Tai Chi Way to Better Balance, a project that Don Miller and I have been working on now for quite a bit. And what we've done is gone ahead and gotten a full color version of the book printed. It is full of all these illustrations. So step by step through every level of balance training, and there are 3 levels in this book, we've gone through, done some great illustrations, great photos to help you understand the basic concepts, and we've put together what we think of as a series of Tai Chi exercises that are accessible to people that don't have access to a teacher. And what we did, we made a really deliberate choice to skip form work. You're not going to learn any traditional sequences of choreography, because unless you're with a really good teacher who can also show you the internal components that go along with that choreography, there's a really limited benefit to what you're going to get out of just moving the hands around and just waving, all that external stuff. The internal work, how do you sync the mind through the body? How do you tune yourself to become more stable on one leg? And once you've got that basic stability, how do you then begin to rebuild more complex movement? Don has gone and laid out all the different ways to build up that kind of training, and it's in a progressive, accessible format through this book. So check it out. I'm going to have a link to where you can buy it directly. It's going to be available on Amazon. It's going to be super easy to get, and it goes right along with the DVD that you may have already seen. And yeah, we're pretty excited to finally get this published in a physical book. So enjoy, let me know what you think, and I will talk to you soon.